name's Matt Sweeney. I'm sitting here with just a fantastically talented young man. His name is Blake Mills. And we're going to be exploring the tender side of guitar on this, the savage side of life. When did you start playing guitar in front of other people?
Pretty quickly, because there was like school talent shows and stuff.
And were you up for it? You're like, okay, I feel I'm ready.
Yeah, I can't relate to the kid who was up for it, but I look back and
there you are.
There I am. There's proof. I did a Smashing Pumpkins song, just guitar and drums.
What song?
It was Zero. The riff was, this like dark, morbid.
Right.
I started playing guitar because of seeing Kurt Cobain on MTV.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do the smart thing of starting with an acoustic guitar. I went straight for an electric guitar and learned in utero. The irony of that is interesting because it's not the kind of music that I that I'm currently doing.
Is there a Cobain interval or move that you still think of on guitar? Is it just
all of the Nirvana riffs that I learned off that record seem to be oriented around two strings, a group of two strings, whether it's the that riff that's just holding out, or the that translates to like a lot of the cropperisms.
Right.
Right. It's a register and it becomes like that's its role. It's such an effective way of using guitar.
Was there a time when you were first learning that did you have any incredible public humiliations on guitar, or was it always a thing that when you showed up, you felt good?
I had a really interesting public humiliation experience more recently. It was like one of those dreams where you're standing on stage at Madison Square Garden by yourself, and all the notes that you go for, you're getting like one fret away.
What happened?
Things that you've played thousands of times.
Yes.
Do you know that dream when you have it like?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that was what happened. Dude. And I was at the Crossroads Festival
at Madison Square Garden?
At Madison Square Garden. Yeah, sold out Madison Square Garden.
Invited by Eric Clapton.
So I've decided this new song that I've been working on would be great because it's just like wide open and it's slow, and so I start playing it, and like after seeing the first line, I've realized in my head, I'm like going, oh my God, this was such a bad idea. And I was playing slide, and I was like trying to catch these notes that I would be thinking. I'm looking at the fretboard and I'm seeing one way, and I'm just not feeling it at all because I'm looking at it and I'm hearing something else entirely. It's like the guitar's out of tune, but it's not. I have no excuse other than my absolute terror that I'm feeling. Yeah, and it was. This went on for like 5 minutes. It was so intense. It was so brutal.
Yeah.
But it's nice when things like that happen. It was helpful for me to like sort of find in myself that it wasn't a devastating experience.
Right.
I mean, it's humiliating, but if humiliation isn't something that absolutely destroys you, I think you've got a career in being a guitar player.
Yeah, it's true, and it's again, you could think of it as a doorway into something else.
It's actually kind of an interesting concept.
What, mistakeism?
Figuring out musical ways of presenting mistakes in hindsight. Like the Miles Davis trick of like
repeating your mistake.
Repeating the mistake, or repeating the wrong note.
Yeah.
I was listening to Elmore James on the way over here. And I hadn't realized how many times in the span of one song his voice completely breaks and cracks. And there are these things going on his records that would never make the cut today. Like they would be fixed, or there would be another take with the way that we make records today. that secondary sound thing becomes the thing that people are in the studio 10 years later trying to replicate.
Totally. What were you saying about what you used to do with D'Addario strings?
I have a shoebox at home filled with the cardboard packages that the D'Addario strings come in.
Mm-hmm.
Cut them into strips. Like, I can give an approximation. So if you have like a strip about that size, and this isn't the guitar for it. I got. If you weave it in between the strings over by the bridge, you can get this really interesting, like distorted staccato effect, especially on a bridge pickup. It's like it becomes a different instrument.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
That's awesome.
It's like a different.
That's awesome.
Playing a different instrument. And if you start scooting it up, you'll get even a more exaggerated version of it. So that with like a capo on an acoustic guitar can make guitar fresh again for almost anybody. And finding little things like that are little like hacks that you can do, whether it's an alternate tuning or putting paper clips on the guitar or something like that,
Something
or a
to
pedal.
Pull the rug out from under you.
Yeah, it makes you react differently and respond differently.
Blake's got this really great song that I hadn't heard before, and then I went and saw him play at a surf shop, and he was playing it. And I was wondering, is it called "What If I'm Not Worthy"?
Yeah, if I'm not worthy.
If I'm not worthy, did you fall on that? Did it all happen at once with that thing?
It's actually just sort of a solo guitar approximation of Howlin' Wolf groove. There's a song, he's got a song called 44 Blues,
mm-hmm.
and it kind of modulates between three chords. And the groove is the piano doing the sort of like swung eighth notes thing, and then the guitar electric guitar is doing the bass line, and the bass and the drums are doing this really heavy one feel, everything on these downbeats and making the downbeats really heavy. So it's like so everything is felt like almost upside down, almost like Sunshine of Your Love. So the whole band is sort of doing something that sounds like
So cool.
So you have this like rhythm at your disposal with the picking on these things, and then your thumb can kind of deviate and do little differences. And so I just started trying to expand on the chord progression of that song a little bit. And the one chord that's kind of interesting, it gets up to the 5, and then the passing chord
Oh, that's great.
is like a major 6 chord. But yeah, that's an easy one. That's what I should have done at Madison Square Garden. But I hadn't written it. Dude. I wrote it like a week later.
Oh, you did.
Maybe that's what happens. It's like you get your ass whipped a little bit, and you go, man, if I only had a song that
Could have done.
could have done the job, and sometimes the universe is listening.
I'm really disappointed in you, Ben.
Nice. Beautiful.
A minor. I'm not really sure what I got. I don't know then. Oh shit. What is that? Is that a clap? Is that Clapton?
I think so, yeah.
You do that one again.
What? That was, dude, thanks. That
Cool.
was awesome. That was awesome.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.